This is the bit where we're going to thank everyone, right? I thought it was actually amazing 6 days again. And I would like to, first of all, thank all the conference attendees. This has been by far the largest smart geometry. You know, I'm quite proud to have it after 10 years, such a huge event now. Of course, I would like to thank all the speakers that have been here over the last 2 days. Amazing talks, fantastic conversations we had. And most importantly, I want to thank all the participants and the cluster champions, because smart geometry really is about what happens here in these 4 days. And it's really, you know, interestingly enough, we don't know what is going to happen, you know, within those 4 days. And it's always quite a scary thing, but being scared is a good thing, I think, in this case. And especially I always like to thank all the people that applied to come and do a cluster here. I said in the beginning of the conference, we had 68 applications for teams wanting to come and run a workshop. We only chose 10. Please, all the ones that did, thank you so much for that. And please try again next year, come as a participant, help out as a volunteer. You know, and this is a typical smart geometry. I see people 1 year as a participant, then a cluster champion, then maybe a speaker, then maybe back to a participant. So you can be involved in many, many different ways. I would really like to thank the people here at the Bartlett that made this happen, people that kind of really behind it and believed in it. And it's basically Alan Pandadine, Marcus Cruz, Bob Scheel, Stephen Gage, Sean Hanna, and Frederick Migaru. Thank you so much. And, you know, there's all these people behind as well at the Bartlett. There's more and more people at the Bartlett that really helped us out. There's the two Michelles from the admin team. There's Rachel. There's Martin and Richard from the DMC helping out with the 3D printing. There's Abby from the workshop who kind of gave up his workshop for these 4 days and then turned it into a party space last night. There's Emmanuel from the CAD-CAM team. And there's always a group. There's also, I think, that's really important, is the red shirts. There's the students from the GAD that has been helping out so much, day and night basically, helping out, making these clusters what they were. And actually I want to have a big applause for all these guys. Thank you.
These events don't come together without a dedicated group of volunteers. Xavier just mentioned a bit ago, we have a collection of people who have run clusters, who have been participants, who go into the planning committee and do a range of different work. And I'd like to thank them. You guys should scoot forward a little bit here so everybody can see your names and who you are. You don't have to hide behind me. This is an absolutely fantastic group of people that we had a chance to work with. We had people like Christina, Jose, and Peter, who were leading a lot of the effort when it came to putting together the selection of clusters and working with all of you as cluster champions, as well as curating the entire Talk Shop day. Thank you very much. You had Seth, Ralph, and Steve, who were leading a lot of the efforts centered around the workshop application process, which is really, really difficult to do. We can do everything we can to put together a really slick website to make things work simply. It's still a lot of work. Over 200 applications to go through and had ratings between 4 to 5 people reviewing every single application, and then the process of assigning scholarships, the process of contacting everybody, taking care of payment, making sure everybody come along, sending out letters for visa applications, just a range of things on the website and organizing the entire event there. And then, of course, sitting at the front desk, which is a completely thankless task. Thank you very much. Sam, I think, has probably more energy that we've drained from him over the course of the last week or two. He's been leading the effort centered around the materials and the different equipment that we've been having, liaising with the Bartlett, making sure everything was good to go with them. A lot of the cluster champions have been working with him. He's been running around frantically, and I hope you've had a chance to at least have a couple drinks in the evenings and enjoy yourself. Thank you very much. Jane, you've seen up on the stage here throughout the course of the day. She's been involved in Smart Geometry, I think, since I have at least. I don't know. I've seen you around constantly, so it's been fantastic. She's been involved in Smart Geometry Organizing Committee year on year. She organized the Symposium last year as well, has been involved with us for a very long time. Thank you.
And every year, there's one or two people within Smart Geometry which are extremely important. And that is always a person, or the two people normally, or one person, but this year we had one person. So that liaises between Smart Geometry and the host organization, which is the Bartlett. And that person has to really be multitasking all the time. That person needs to understand Smart Geometry to start off with. And second, he has to understand, of course, the host organization and know all the little technical bits, all the kind of organizational bits that need to happen to make Smart Geometry what it is. And this year we had Rory Glynn for that, and I would really like to thank him for that. And I actually also want to thank him, he didn't only help for all the logistical stuff, but he was there helping us for the content continuously as well. Even when we had a problem where we had a few cancellations for speakers, he sat down, helped us together with Sean Hanna, and really think extremely quickly in about a week's time, in a few days' time, who would be perfect to come and speak here. Rory, you did an amazing job. And for that, I would like to thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. There's another partner that's been with us for a very long time. There's a lot of faces that we're very used to year over year, but one face that's always been part of the event from the very beginning, and that's Bentley Systems. I spoke about them earlier in my kind of personal connections and journey in design computation and being directly connected to my relationship with them. I want to thank all the people who are involved in Bentley, the speakers that we had today, the people who are embedded in clusters, helping us with logistics, running the bookshop, the whole range of different areas. Thank you very much.
Of course, the host organization, the Bartlett and UCL, has been amazing. Thank you. We also have each year a few other sponsors as well that help out. There was first of all EOS that sponsored us with all the 3D prints. They've been with us for, I think, about 5 or 6 years now. And they actually then helped out other organizations like 3D Print UK and Ogol Models to help. They delivered the materials to then print on their machines. And it was quite amazing with these companies as well, because you have to explain very quickly what Smart Geometry is about and if they would be able to help. And yeah, thank you so much for that. Also Z-mapping, they delivered all the 3D data that was actually used in quite a few of the clusters. So thank you so much for that. Next. Okay, special announcement. As I said, probably in the beginning, I think, from Smart Geometry, it was founded by 3 people, Lars Hasselgren, Jay Parrish, and Hugh Whitehead, exactly 10 years ago. Now, they've always kind of surrounded themselves with a great group of volunteers over the years, but around 2010, they decided it was time to kind of expand the organization. And that's when myself and Shane came on board as directors. Now, the idea actually of a director is just to be there as a facilitator, you know, because I really strongly believe that Smart Geometry is really driven by a community. But now and then people need to sign a contract, need to make some tough decisions, so you need a group of people to do that. Now, of course, what is kind of the danger that if you have a constant group of people managing certain things, that they can kind of get stuck in their ways. They kind of start doing things the same way because you know. So we always want the idea to kind of keep on expanding this and keep on changing directors and adding new people, just because of the fair idea that when you bring people in, you bring new ideas in. So over the last few months actually, and we had many discussions with the other directors to see who could we bring into the team, who would be absolutely ideal for this. And it actually took us a long dinner this week, a few days ago, where we decided completely unanimous that we would like to welcome Jane Burry and Brady Peters as actually new directors of Smart Geometry. Thank you. Brady?
So Xavier talked about just a moment ago, the directors are here as facilitators. I'm absolutely overjoyed to have two new people, new blood, new ideas, new creative and intellectual direction in the organization. But in the end, it is very much about the community. It's all of you here. You're all part of it. You're all part of this organization. Over the next couple of months, we'll be posting all sorts of information that is the output of this material, but it's also going to continue. You're all going to go off, you're going to continue to develop these ideas, work with new people, bring new people into it, and just work on this collaborative kind of capacity of the design computation community. I hope that each of you will keep an eye on things like our website, our Facebook and Twitter accounts to get a sense of where we're going and what types of things we're doing. And I also hope any of you who are interested in being a part of this organization a step more formally and looking towards opportunities of what we could do in future years, consider joining us and helping to plan future events as we move forward, propose clusters next year, go as participants. At some point I do want to be a participant myself again. I have to do that. So again, it's very much about the community. We are facilitators to promote your work, to give you the space to do what it is you want to do and really impact the built environment and the generation of new knowledge. Here's the big question. Over the next few months, sometime later this spring, after a lot of debate amongst the group, we're going to be making an announcement as to where we're going to be heading in the future. And this is something that's going to be sourced from the community. We've been speaking with a lot of people around the world about where we want to go, and they have a fabulous set of opportunities about where this organization is going to go. We're going to learn a lot over the next couple of weeks and next few months to determine exactly what's going to happen, how the design computation community is going to continue to develop. So I ask all of you to just keep an eye out. We're going to be making an announcement sometime later this spring. The community, though, isn't just smart geometry. We have people who are spread. This sounds actually a little bit scary to say we have people everywhere. We have connections with organizations all around the world. Each of you have been to a number of different events. This one specifically is actually popping up next week. So yeah, next Friday and Saturday. This one is actually at the University of Calgary. It's run by Branko, who we've known for many years in Acadia and North America in the development of his work. We actually have people who were speakers and participants in connections with our event here who are also going to be taking part in this event. So I think all of you should take a look at the web address, which is down at the bottom. Take a look at the event, a fantastic lineup of speakers and opportunities to continue these kinds of discussions. This one specifically talking about the architecture of change entitled Building Dynamics. I think a lot of the cluster champions, if you haven't heard already, will be pleased about this. The Acadia deadline got extended, but not by very long. You've got about 4 days to put something together. This is something that actually happens again and again, and I like to, maybe we should call it the smart geometry effect. Basically, we complain, we say we can't get our papers in time because we're in the middle of workshops, working until midnight and getting 3 hours of sleep a night. So we make a request to Acadia to extend the deadline, and they did it. So I think you should all take a look at this. This one's actually held up at the University of Waterloo, which actually, funny enough, was the very first place I ever got involved in Acadia and smart geometry as well, meeting people like Philip Beasley and others doing the work up there. So definitely take a look at the Acadia website, consider submitting papers, taking part in workshops, and attending the event, and that's this coming fall.
Oh, apparently, sorry. Apparently the deadline, if you do something around smart geometry, I can't say this officially, but if you want to submit it after the 24th, give me an email. Right. Seriously.
So I'd like to hand it off to Rory to talk about Fabricate.
Okay, so first, Fabricate first. Next year, we're very happy to be able to announce the second Fabricate. The first was held at the Bartlett in 2011, co-chaired with Bob Scheel. And we're really delighted that it seemed to strike a chord and that people really wanted to see another event. Our first Fabricate book sold out. We had to publish a second edition of it as well. So we're very much encouraged by the community to keep this thing moving forward. We've got the second edition of the print is actually on the bookstores out there, so you'll have to forgive me for plugging this, but we've got a special 30% price off the book for Fabricate just for today outside. Okay, enough of that. Keep an eye on the information for Fabricate, and we'd love to have some of you submitting for that. Certainly some of the clusters that we saw today would definitely fit with what we hope to talk about at that conference. On behalf of the Bartlett and UCL, I get the chance now to thank Smart Geometry, and I won't say too much because enough perhaps has already been said, but it's been an enormous pleasure. And thank you very much for coming. It's been great to see people coming from all around the world to here. As a token of our thanks, UCL is hosting a party tonight for all of us. It will be held at our portico, a much nicer building than Waite's House. And the schedule itself, unfortunately, does say that the party's at Waite's House, but we've got it over at the portico, and it doesn't run from 6 till 10. I think it runs from whenever we get there till about 1 o'clock in the morning. So you're welcome to that. Now, just to make sure you all know where we're going, because I know some people have had a bit of trouble with the maps. We're sort of down here, and that's Waite's House if you need to go and pick anything up, but actually to get to the portico, the easiest access is just to go along Gower Street. So if you come up to Gordon Square, you walk along here, you'll walk past the church that's here, and then go up Gower Street. It's a largest road in the area, really, and you'll take a right into the portico. You can't miss it. So we look forward to seeing you there shortly. And we'll put that map up at the end just so you guys can have another look at it if you need to. Okay?
That's it. Enjoy the food and the drinks tonight. Thank you very much.